you mind sharing with us your name?
Hello, my name is Naomi Kumar, and I'm a senior at USF.
I'm Shayna.
My name is Dominic Chung.
My name is Sarah.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Knight.
Hi, my name is Sally.
Maxenberger.
My name is Jason Chang.
Bruno Fucomancini.
Stephanie.
My name is Luis Felipe Santana.
Michelle.
My name is Addie.
I am known as Alec.
Hi, my name is Kira.
Hello, my name is Spencer Carmen.
Spencer.
Michael.
I'm Ryan.
My name is Victor Salatis.
Can you tell us what you do here at the university?
I'm a student in the Environmental Science and Policy track.
I'm a chemical engineering major.
I'm an early childhood education major.
I'm a statistics major with business analytics.
I am a student of the environment.
I double major in finance and integrated PR and advertising.
Exceptional student education. I study psychology and environmental science.
I study biomedical science.
I'm a head lifeguard.
I'm a microbiology major in my 4th year and graduating this semester.
I'm a USF medical student.
I'm currently studying some molecular biology.
International affairs.
I'm a biomedical science major.
I'm majoring in econometrics and quantitative economics.
I'm a cellular molecular biology major.
I am studying environmental science and policy.
I volunteer.
I swim, I walk, I talk the talk. I'm a lifeguard, as you can see.
I work for our outdoor recreation program. I'm a coordinator.
What do you know about climate change?
Oh, climate. I know it's changing.
That it's real.
I don't really know a lot. I know that it's real, so that's a good first step.
I know that it's happening fast.
I know climate change is destroying our world, and we are a big part of it. And there's many things that we should be able to do to prevent it, but people need to start listening better.
And even though we can't see it, it's happening.
So climate change, in my opinion, is the changes that's happening to the environment in the form of like emissions, greenhouse gases that are currently taking place and affecting the overall well-being of our planet and the environment. But the part of me that like feels like we don't give enough credit to ourselves is like when they say it's like completely irreversible or like we have no chance of fixing it. Like I do believe we can fix it because we've done a lot as a race, and I definitely do feel like we can definitely find methods or come up with technology or advances which can like reverse the damage done by climate change.
Climate change is caused by variations of Malkovich cycles that have occurred in the past thousands of years. Climate change is very normal, especially in the Earth's history. What's different about what is happening today is about the man-made production of CO2 in the atmosphere that is causing a rapid increase in temperatures that have not been seen in previous historical records.
It's become a growing issue in the world today, and that we need to take measures soon or else there'll be irreversible effects.
Irreversible damages to the long-term weather patterns.
Basically, there's these things called greenhouse gases, and there is too much of that in the atmosphere currently.
I mean, the climate has changed over time, but I think that goes way deeper than what people think. It can also deal with, like a lot of issues that are happening with just the earth, and they're like all caused by like human causes.
The long-term weather patterns changing because of greenhouse gas emissions.
That it's gonna kill us all?
Not much.
I guess the sea level ice is melting.
That it's all a fabricated hoax.
Obviously, with the heat, it's gonna melt glaciers.
Climate change is the change that has been happening in climate, either making it hotter or colder, and that's mainly caused by the increase in greenhouse gas emissions caused by industry and main big polluters. Climate change also causes sea level rise, melting of glaciers, and a lot of different things.
Partly like the industrialization of human civilization, but also a natural, thing that occurs.
I guess the water's rising. Could be due to emissions, could be due to a lot of things.
The greenhouse gases that we have in Earth are ever so increasing because of our carbon footprint.
I know that it's been happening for years and eons or whatever. Do you have any thoughts on what could be causing it? Well, I hear a lot that it's us that's causing it. I don't know if I I don't know if I for sure believe that. Like, I don't know, but I feel like people, obviously people are the cause, or it could be like just unrelated to people, you know, out of our control, but it could be in our control. Like, I feel like you can't really say for sure either way. I mean, I can't. Maybe scientists could, but like, I'm a scientist, and these deniers are probably not scientists either. I just think they have their heads up their ass, you know?
I believe that it's threatening. I believe that it's not as threatening as a lot of people make it out to be, but I believe that it is still a threat.
You never know, it's gonna be cold, warm.
I'm just trying to tell it to be itself, but it's changing, so.
It can cause air pressure in the brain, so it does not feel good. So,
That's bad.
It is, yeah.
I'm not really educated on it.
I think climate change is like when people drive a lot and then they all drive and then it's not good. They leave the faucets on. That's a big one. We don't recycle. Yeah, and that's changes the climate.
1 to 10, 1 being least concerned, 10 being most concerned. Where does it fall for you on your list of concerns?
Probably about a 15.
10.
I would for sure say a 10.
10. I'm an environmental major. 10.
Like a 9 or a 10.
It's around 9 or 10.
Maybe in a scale of maybe 9.
I'd give it an 8 or 9. I'd say it's very concerning.
An 8.
A 7.
A 7.
Probably 6.5.
Maybe about a 5.
For me, I think it's a 4 because I do think we can reverse it or remedy or fix some of the problems that happen from it.
Well, normally I have school and then homework and then work and then sleep and food and stuff. Wait, which one's most concerning? It's like solid 3 on my list.
Probably a 1. I hate to say it, but yeah, I think I'll die before anything horrible happens.
Probably like a 1.
I mean, I don't think about it, because I mean, sure, global issues, sure, I think about, but like, I mean, it's not a day-to-day thought for me. It's not like I'm driving to work and I'm like, you know what, we should do something about that.
Solid my entire being, 20,000.
Because even though it's not something like we've been seeing it right now, and even though like the world's not ending or anything, we can feel that it's definitely impacting our lives. The summers are getting hotter, the winters are getting colder. We can see like extreme events happening. So even though it's still manageable to survive in this environment, we can see that it's a very damaging situation.
What are you doing, if anything, in your personal life to help combat climate change?
Recycling. I drive a Prius. As I said, I care about the environment, but I don't think consciously about it. I feel like there's not much else to do.
I try to recycle. I try to like keep my air conditioning low, high, whichever, warmer.
I try and walk wherever I can, like on campus.
Even though I live off campus, I always walk to all my classes, and I try to walk to as many places as I can. And I'm trying to consume. I don't typically consume any form of red meat.
Try not to drive unless I have to. A more kind of plant-based diet rather than.
Well, I bike everywhere, so I don't put toxins into the air unless I have to, and if I do, I carpool.
One thing that I think that I do is I'm a pescatarian. Purchase like any like form of like locally grown produce. That's something that I'm really like passionate about.
I bike as much as I can, and I recycle as much as I can.
I try to make sure never to litter, never to try to recycle, small things, and if need to be, if I can bike or walk somewhere, I try to.
Does recycling count? And I don't like waste water. Does that contribute? I do drive a lot. I use a lot of gas.
It's not.
I turn off lights when I leave a room and stuff like that.
I try to pollute less, maybe generate less trash. And
I don't use plastic water bottles like ever. I carry this around with me everywhere I go.
I try to educate individuals, especially those who I work with, about how serious climate change is.
Yeah, so like I swim and stuff, and because anytime I swim, I feel like I can save a lot of water from not showering. So if I go to swim practice, I'll usually just, water's water. So, I try to save water, so I usually just count my swim practices as a good shower since I'm swimming in it, it's chlorine, it's supposed to be clean for you.
I always try to limit my water use. I only have to do my laundry when I absolutely need to, brush my teeth on a time, take short showers, and biggest thing is I try to spread the word about it.
I personally am a vegan. I shop locally and organic. I try to reduce my carbon dioxide emissions by carpooling.
Reducing plastic waste, so using a lot of reusable things.
Nothing, I would say, not honestly, not.
I'm throwing trash in the trash can.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Trash in the trash can. That's what we're talking.
I try never to litter or anything like that.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Shame.
This is true. But I think it's important to note that capitalism is the root.
Yeah, so like usually when I go to the bathroom, well, so nobody hears what I'm doing, I like turn the faucet on like completely, right? And like I've been doing that for like my whole life because I didn't want anybody to, hear noises from the bathroom. But I recently stopped doing that, so I've gotten more complaints, but I have been saving the environment.
And what do you think should be done on like a national or global level?
We definitely need to restructure. A lot of people need to realize that it won't change the environment, or like green energy especially, won't happen over time. We've been running on fossil fuels, which was working for a while, but the fact that it's like running out and it's so bad for the environment, but we can't just overnight make that happen. It's gonna be a process. At some point, we're still gonna have to use fossil fuels, but we'll make a transition to be mostly green energy. If you get people talking, or at least understanding that it's happening, even on a small scale, it'll work its way up on a national level.
Increase public transportation to decrease the amount of people have for their individual cars.
We need to start putting money into investing in renewable energy.
One thing could be education. Like, I am from Jamaica, and there are some people who are like knowledgeable about climate change and care about the environment. There are other people who like really don't. Like, for example, when I went back last time, something that really surprised me is that people still burn trash. And I know, like in the U.S., like if you're like people burn garbage, that sounds like really, really bad. But it was just kind of like normal. I would ask like family members, like, is this like a normal thing that happens? They're like, yeah, like it's just what people do because like they don't really know any better. So I think really just like educating people on that.
Just more laws being passed that make it like kind of similar to COVID. Just if you don't follow with the law, that there'll be like fines and punishments, and just things to make it more serious.
Like Iceland. I've heard a lot of Iceland from cat. What else? I'm trying to think like what contributes to the warming, like gas and stuff. Oh, I should also tell me the answer.
Should bring back some of those communal baths, like what they had back in the old times. We just fill up one tub, and then we you share among the family. I think I'm pretty clean with the pool idea, so we could get more people, like multiple families, with one big pool. We could shower at the same time. That'd probably also save time if we all shower at the same time. So maybe add soap.
Also help out the poor countries because most of the carbon, like the coal and wood burning, come from the poor countries because it's easier and it's more accessible. So if there's a more global initiative to help those places out, that could also help reduce the climate changes in those areas.
Definitely impose limits in greenhouse gas emissions for the main polluters. Also incentivize the use of public transit so that people don't use as many cars. Also incentivize a more sustainable way of living, I guess. That makes the carbon footprint lower.
One thing that's really sucks about what Florida's doing is that they're passing that bill that changes the buyback of electricity from solar to wholesale instead of retail. That's fucked up. I get to do that in the future. I should say it's kind of fucked up that they're doing that, but I'm not going to do anything personally.
Okay. Have people empowered, really understand and listen to the younger generations.
I think more regulations need to be put in place.
The Green New Deal needs to be passed immediately. We need to begin listening to scientists. The IPCC climate report was just telling us what we already know and what we have known for a minute, that we need to be doing a lot more than what we are doing right now.
We should definitely appropriate more funding to this problem because I do think, like I said, we can definitely reverse or fix the problem. Like some European countries, one of the citizens won a case. We need to pass more laws that provide a mandate for the amount of emissions that certain corporations emit to the environment.
At a national level, we need to have greater input from scientists and follow their recommendations.
And do you have any final thoughts for us?
Green always, go bold.
Yeah, I hope you have a fun time. Are you going on a field trip?
I guess just like think of different ways that you can impact, and that can just be like personal and just like choices you make with your shopping as well, and companies. Just kind of pay attention to companies that affect climate change just as much as you do.
For the
People
kids
need to get their act together. Not this person.
Thank you.
Normal people.
Water levels are rising, so we should start showering in the rising water levels.
I think that I would say that Google is free and that you should educate yourself on what a reliable source is.
I don't think it's super crazy severe, but eventually it will bite us in the ass if we don't. Okay, sorry.
You can curve, yeah.
Bite us in the ass if we don't take care of it eventually, you know?
I support, anybody that does think of it higher.
I would say that climate change is it's not something you should believe it or not. It's not a religion, it's science. So climate change is real, it's happening in our everyday lives, and we must combat both by taking personal choices and also by making our leaders, our elected leaders, aware of this harm and making them act as soon as possible to mitigate the issue.
At the end of the day, it's not just our future, it's your kids' future and their kids' future, and I think you gotta think about that more.
I think the most important thing is having peace and love in the environment. Go in peace, my friends.
And to Joe Biden specifically, I want to say that I knew you were going to be lame as hell on climate change, and you have done nothing but follow through on your fucking mediocrity.
Raise your voice, not sea level.
Everybody should do their part and to reduce climate change.
Climate change is real. I know it seems depressing, but like we can fix the problem. We can do it. Just like one day at a time.
Sir, what are your thoughts on climate change? Oh, sorry.